Money and welcome to my stream. Got another one here for you today. This one is about Julio Jones being traded from the Atlanta Falcons to the Tennessee Titans, and we're going to talk all about that. And I made a change to my Madden roster for the PC. I uploaded it yesterday, and today found out that Julio got traded. So I made that switch, and I uploaded a new one just for him. So let's get into it. I'm going to talk about some other movements in the NFL that are in my that was in the previous update. Of course, today's update, it's only Julio added. Alright, so to get my roster, you go over to the gear, and you click on share and manage files, download community files, and you tab over to the roster part, and you go all the way to the right side and click X. If you're on an Xbox controller, it's the left, whatever that left key is. And it's the 2022 update is what it is. And Thrillcat with two T's on the end, THRILLCATT is my username on Madden, or through EA Play, I guess. And this is the 5th version of this roster. The first version was named May something, and I got 2 likes on it, and like 188 downloads. And since I've kept this one name and just kept replacing the file and editing the description, I've got 1 like on it and 364 downloads. So that is what, 540 something, 548, I think. 548, yeah. No, 542, something like that. Anyway, somewhere around it, over 500. So as you can see, the description says version 5, Julio Jones gets an update all by himself, updated through June 6th, which is today, the day this video is being recorded. And except for some undrafted rookies and guys that didn't play last year, like some guys that took a COVID year off, they were able to opt out. And some undrafted rookies as well. So those were not in the game, and I did not create those players. So a little bit lazy on that part, but still did a lot of work moving the free agents to all their teams. Oh, so that's how you get the file. Let's go back to it, and you just click on select, which for me using an Xbox controller is A, and you just download it. That's my file. I don't have to download it. I already have it there. So once you download it, you go back to this page, and you go over to load and delete files. If you do not load it, you will be when you click on manage rosters, you will be looking at the official default roster, which every day you log in, it updates it. I don't know if it actually changes the official roster, because they haven't actually made any changes in it that I know of since like around Super Bowl week. It may just change the date of it for some reason. I guess to keep it at the top of the list, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, these are all my old rosters. But so this is the one you want. So you want to load this. So it's A on the Xbox controller. File loaded successfully. So now you back out. Back out again, and you go to it'll still be on the gear, see, still on the gear right there, and then you do manage rosters, and then you do manage players. Oh, before I do that, while I'm thinking about it, I want to look at the free agents that are still available, the top rated ones. Mitchell Schwartz, right tackle, is injured, and so they don't know if he's going to retire or if when he's going to be able to play. but I believe he has been released by whatever team he was in. I forgot it. What team he was on. So, whoops. Almost did that. Fortunately, the thing was full. I was trying to go back and forth between my... Come on. Sorry about that. Technical problems. As per usual. As per usual. Okay. Melvin Ingram. Right end. Hayward. Poole. Casey. Thomas. Malik Hooker from the Ohio State University. Somebody will get a nice player in him when they pick him up. That's a good guard right there. And so Colin Kaepernick is still in the game, available for you to pick up if you would like. I don't think that's going to happen in the real life, but you know. Let's see if there's any more people that are interesting. McCourty got released by the Patriots, and his brother is still there, I believe. Larry Fitzgerald, I think he didn't retire, so I think he wants to play, so we'll see. Le'Veon Bell, he might not supposed to be, he might not. I don't know if he's supposed to be a free agent or not. I'll have to check on that. Huh. I thought he was with the team. I thought Jets, right? I think. I'll have to check on that. Well, that would be a mistake for me to check next time. Let me write that down. Le'Veon. Okay. And I'll go through that list again. So glad I checked it. So those are the free agents, and they're real free agents, and they're free agents in the game. What we're going to look at is the Titans right now. And as you can see, the top two rated players, they're both overall rating of 95. They both have 92 speed. Speedy. So you got a pretty high rated running back and a pretty high rated wide receiver. And the number 2 receiver now would be A.J. Brown. And he is ranked 85 compared to Julio's 95. And so you can look at them together. A.J. Brown wears number 11, which is Julio Jones' number in Atlanta. And so I don't know how they're going to work that out. I just made him 81 because it has a 1 on the end of it, just like 11. And they've relaxed the rules so far. Or not so far, but they relaxed the rules this year on what numbers players in certain positions can have. Like it used to be wide receivers were just 80s in the teens. Quarterbacks had to be single digits or the teens, and like that. The defensive linemen had to be 90s or 70s. Same for the offensive, had to be 70s or 60s, I believe. But anyway, they've relaxed that this year. A lot of teams aren't doing that because the rookies would get like a free number change, but the veterans would have to pay for it somehow. I'm not familiar exactly what they're talking about. Maybe like as far as getting the number from one of the other players. That could be what they're talking about. But so for A.J. Brown, a lot of people are thinking that since Julio Jones will get double covered, see his little trait. I forget what it's called on Madden. Sorry about that. But see, it says double me, and so that means he still does pretty well even if he's double covered. And so A.J. Brown will have single coverage, so he should be able to light it up more. How did he have a 92? Oh no, that was running back Derrick Henry. Had 92 speed as well. So A.J. just a little bit slower. Alrighty. So that's interesting. And with Julio Jones there, Ryan Tannehill, the quarterback, is probably going to be fairly happy about that. Let's see. I wanted to talk about some of the recent moves, some of the big names that have moved other than Julio Jones. Rashawn Golden, safety, was waived by the Raiders. And I can't remember if it is Parker Ehinger. He signed with the Raiders on June 4th, and Adam Kuhn, also on June 4th, signed with the Titans. One of those guys is a former wrestler, as in the WWE, I believe. And he didn't play college ball. He played in high school football, but apparently this year he's going to play professional football and be a lineman. So, and I can't remember. It's one of those guys, Ehringer or Kuhn. And so those are not in my roster. I didn't create them. Neither of those were in there. Let's see. A lot of people in the past week have signed. A lot of rookies have signed their rookie deal that just got drafted in April. I think it was still late April. And so those guys were in the roster already because the roster I started with had very little free agent changes, but it did have the full 7-round draft in it, and that was by a user named Sir Scante, SIRSCANTE, and he did a great job on that. And so I took that and I put in all the free agent moves. Let's see, Marvin Hall Jr. I can't remember what team he was, but he signed a 1-year contract with New England. Bashad Breeland, cornerback, was formerly with the Washington football team. And last year he was with, I can't remember the team he was with. Anyway, he signed a 1-year deal with Minnesota. I don't think he was with Minnesota last year. I think that's a new location for him this year. Just scanning through the transactions. Roderick Teamer, safety, signed a contract with the Las Vegas Raiders. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Kamale, it ends in EI. Korea, linebacker, was released by Kansas City. He's a veteran. Devontae Smith, rookie, signed his first deal with Philadelphia Eagles for 4 years, $20.1 million. Let's see. What else do we have in here? Cincinnati Bengals, Joseph Osai, linebacker, and Jamar Chase, wide receiver, signed their rookie deals with the Bengals. CJ Saunders, I don't think he played last year in the NFL. And so all my years get all mixed up. I can't remember if he is a free agent rookie this year or if he was last year. I believe it's this year. I think he was with the Buckeyes, Ohio State Buckeyes, last year, and so he was signed with the Carolina Panthers. They lost one Buckeye, Curtis Samuel, to the Washington football team, and so they signed another one. Josh Johnson was one of the quarterbacks that ended up starting late in the year when Alex Smith was hurt for the Washington football team, and he was released by the 49ers. Rex Burkhead, who was a Patriot running back for a long time, signed a 1-year deal with the Houston Texans. Stephon Diggs converted $11.7 million of his salary into a bonus, clearing $7.8 million of cap space for the Buffalo Bills. I'm sure both of them are happy about that. Sharif Finch, linebacker, got waived by New York Jets. Jared Veldheer, right tackle, for the Packers, retired from football. He was going to be suspended for, I think, an illegal substance, and he just decided to retire instead of deal with that, I guess. If it was even related. Let's see, looking through. See if there's any notable names in here. Adam Vinatieri, kicker from the Colts, and before that, the New England Patriots, also retired from professional football. Najee Harris, running back, from, where was he? Bama or Clemson? I can't remember. He signed his rookie deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Washington football team got some tight end depth. Signed Ricky Seals-Jones, who was more highly rated in previous years. This is going to be his 4th year, I think. In previous years in Madden, he was ranked higher. We'll take a look at him in a second. Alex Leatherwood from Bama, right tackle, signed his rookie deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. And again, these people were already all in here thanks to Sir Scante. He did the full 7-round draft. Johnny Dixon, I think he had been he graduated from Ohio State, I think, or left after his eligibility was over. I don't know if he graduated or not. I hope so. He was available last year, and I think he was on some practice squads, but never signed with anybody or to play during the season. Got released before the season started, and he has signed a contract with the Dallas Cowboys. We're going back now. I'm back at like May 21st. May 20th, Tim Tebow signed. I have him in the game. I will show you him. Let's see. Jaguars, right? Basically, I just took another old tight end, and that was low ranked like this, and just changed him, and I left him. I think I left him the way I changed his. I might have given a little bit more awareness or something like that. I changed his height and weight, and I just left him at 58 though. Don't know if he'll make the roster. I mean, they don't have stellar group of tight ends there, so who knows? And it's good PR for in the state of Florida, I guess. Let's see, what else did I want to look at? Oh, the retired guys, except for the kicker, Adam Vinatieri, those are all in the free agents. Those are all punter. I changed them all to punters since they wouldn't be good punters, and so because you can't delete them. So as you can see, they're very low ranked. Richburg, I think, was a center for the Niners, I think. Davis was with the Washington football team, linebacker. Phillip Rivers, of course, Chargers. And he is a high school coach this year. Jordan Reed, often injured, retired. He was with the Washington football team and then went to the Niners. Edelman, Witten, and Lee from the Dallas Cowboys. Actually, Witten, I think, came out of retirement to play with the Raiders last year, I believe, and then he retired again. Alex Smith, of course, was released by Washington, and then he retired. So I don't know if he retires after getting released. I don't know if that helps Washington's cap number at all. I hope so. So, and there's Vildier, the guy that retired, that was also going to get hit with a substance abuse penalty, I believe is what I recall. forgive me if I'm wrong on any of the facts that I'm saying now. So, but to look at Washington's team, you got Fuller as the who was with the Washington football team for a while. They drafted him, I think, and then he got good, and then he left and went to the Chiefs, and then came back last year and was really, really good. And of course, Terry McLaurin, great 3rd round pick. Look at that rating. Picked in the 3rd round. Coach Jay Gruden said 2 years ago that if they were smart, they would have picked him in the 1st round. Got Fitzpatrick and Kyle Allen, who was with Coach Del Rio, not Coach Del Rio, was the defensive coordinator. Redskins coach. Not Redskins. Oh, I knew I was going to say it at one point. Washington football team coach. I can't remember his name. He was with the Panthers for a long time. Man, I can't remember his name. Blanking. But anyway, he has experience with Kyle Allen in Carolina. Running back, they have Gibson and McKissick still, and those are speedy, smaller but speedy running backs. And they do some stuff out of the backfield, and they can line up at wideout. And Curtis Samuel is probably going to do, I would imagine, they're going to have him do some end arounds, etc., make use of that 95 speed. And they're going to have him, because he was a running back at the Ohio State University. So there you go. They have Humphreys new this year for, they signed him to be a slot receiver. And as backups, you have Sims and Harmon, who have been there for a while. Diami Brown is a draft pick, and he is new. Don't know how he'll fit in there. Cam Sims. And these other guys are probably going to be bound for the practice squad, I would assume. You have an interesting thing in that when you do this to a roster, when you add in the draft class, you actually have 2 sets of rookies. So we got the rookies from last year, which Wright was a rookie from last year, and a rookie this year is Milne. And from last year also Gandy Golden. Gandy Golden was drafted. I think Wright was signed as a undrafted free agent. But Dax Milne is from this year, and so they're all rookies. So you're going to have more rookies with expiring contracts at the same time. This is what I was talking about. Ricky Seals-Jones. They picked him up. He's 68 overall. I think I remember him being up closer to 80. In previous Madden versions. I guess he hasn't had the career they were looking for, or he hasn't had the stats. I can't remember if he was injured or not, but this year they also drafted John Bates. I can't remember what round. And they are ranked the same, but we did need the depth, as you can see, with the tight end. So. And of course, all these, subject to change as far as who's going to be there on all the teams. I thought there would be a lot more transactions at post June 1, because after June 1, you can spread the cap hit amongst 2 years. So it's not the player shuffle, the merry-go-round is not over. As far as offensive line, Washington football team got Charles Leno who was released from the Bears, or traded, I can't remember. Sorry, a lot I can't remember stuff. I can tell the basics of what's going on, but as far as details, they got Eric Flowers back. Eric Flowers was with Washington, went to Dolphins for a year or two, and now he's back. This one was a trade. This one he did get traded back to Washington football team. Got Roulier, and the right side is probably the best offensive lineman Washington has is Brandon Sheriff. Right guard, he is on the final year of his contract, and so they are, I believe, trying to work on a long deal. Let's see, he's been I believe 5 years, 6 years, so this will be his 6th year. So yeah, maybe like a 3 or 4 year deal, maybe something like that. But they drafted Sam Cosmi, and I hope that's pronounced correctly. I don't know how else that would be pronounced. And so he will probably start on the right side. Got Sweat and Chejian from the Ohio State University. On the ends, the defensive tackles are John Allen and Deron Payne, both from Alabama, and drafted in consecutive years. And of course, a great third guy, Matthew Ioannidis. And I believe last year you had some situations where all 3 of these guys were on the field at the same time. And a great backup in Tim Settle from Virginia Tech. Go Hokies. Left outside linebacker, as you can see by the rating, is an issue, perhaps. But they could sign somebody. Middle linebacker, probably starting, will be the rookie Jamin Davis. I think it's Jamin. If it's not, I apologize. And Cole Holcomb was a middle linebacker last year, but he can play outside too, so they will probably move him outside so these guys can play at the same time. And since they're in a 4-3, since Ron Rivera is the name of the coach, since he came over from the Panthers, they switched back to a 4-3, which they had been for a long time, but they were a 3-4 defense a while with when Jay Gruden was the coach. Cornerback Fuller, Washington football team, then to the Chiefs, and now back to Washington as of last year, and he's good. Jackson as the number 2, and Darryl Roberts as the number 3. I assume that's how it will work out. Maybe Moreland will beat out Roberts, but these two are veterans that signed. Moreland is a late round draft pick. I want to say 7th round, and he has come along nicely. And this year they drafted St. Just, I believe is how you pronounce that. And so we'll have to see what that. But that looks fairly decent. Free safety, anything could happen. Probably Bobby McCain starting. Cameron Curl is a free safety, but he played when Landon Collins got hurt last year, and the Washington football team could release Landon Collins. Personally, I'd probably like to see him stay another year, just like just for depth, even though he's pricey, but he is a good player when he stays on the field. And Bobby McCain, I believe, was with the Dolphins and got released, I think. And Washington football team picked him up. And they also drafted Derek Forrest. Apke's been there, very, very fast. But I don't think he's developed quite as much as they want. Everett was a special teams captain. So maybe he could stay because of that. Reeves is fairly serviceable as well. But some of those guys will be leaving. I don't think any of those guys, except Forrest could go to the could go to the practice squad. But yeah, it's going to be 3rd year for Apke, so and 5th year for Everett, so they can't go to the practice squad. It's going to be 3rd year for Reeves, so he can't either. Kicker and punter, great punter, Treshway, are the same. The long snapper changed, and he was, I believe, the only long snapper that Madden kept putting in there, Nick Sundberg, just because he had stayed so long. and they put him in as a left guard, but he was always the lowest ranked player in Madden. So it didn't really do anything, to have him there. So I always released him even in the older games just to free up that spot, because it doesn't really affect your kicking game to not have a dedicated long snapper in the game. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about. You can get me on the Instagram or the Twitter at Coach Steve Money, no spaces. You can email coachstevemoney@gmail.com and get that free financial coach assessment / consultation. And again, we talk about your current money situation and what your goals would be and how to get you there. And we'll be happy to do that. I do the Ramsey Show after show. Not affiliated, but follows the time slot of the Ramsey Show YouTube video, which is 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And then I go live right after that at approximately 6 p.m. Eastern Time with my show, and we talk about the show. We talk about the people that are in the YouTube chat for the Ramsey Show, which that's open a lot of the day earlier than the show is. So we just hang out there and talk a lot. Talk about food, talk about other stuff, of course talk about financial stuff, especially when somebody comes in early and asks a question. And I think that's all I had, and hopefully the sound worked this time. And that's it, and I will see you guys next video. Make smart financial decisions, and Sid would add every day.